What's up, y'all? This is What's the Hook podcast. I'm your host, Bileko Wissa, a.k.a. B. Weiss, here with Keenan.
Yeah, the host, Keenan Baker. How y'all doing? What's going on, y'all? What's up? It's crack.
And then our third host, Mr. Huca Bera.
Yippee-yi-yo, yippee-yi-yay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, What's the Hook podcast is a podcast about us three dudes in the entertainment industry trying to make our way. We talk about politics, sports, music, life, love, relationships.
We're going to cover everything,
We're going to cover fucking everything, all right?
Everything.
Fucking everything. It doesn't matter. And every now and then we might have a couple special guests, maybe a couple special guests. I don't know what gets more special than B. Weiss. But anyhow,
full of himself.
full of feeling myself. But since this is the intro, we're going to talk about ourselves. So I'm going to start with Keenan Baker. Keenan, tell us about yourself, where you're from, what do you do, how'd you get here?
Why do you do it?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm kind of like a military brat. So, like, I grew up, my dad was in the military. Did a lot of jumping around, moving wise. Lived in New York, lived in mostly New York and L.A., pretty much, mostly the Valley. 33 years, we'll be 33 years old coming up soon, man. I mean, I've always been like the I don't want to say outspoken kid, but like I was a younger brother, man. So I needed attention. So you got to be like the younger brother. You just say whatever you can to get shit back to you.
Right.
So I was always that kid. I'm a stand-up comedian, man. I love stand. That's my pride and joy. That's my baby.
Yes, sir.
I got into stand-up comedy actually was watching. We was always a class clowns.
Yeah.
And I always tell this story about how I had this in 10th grade. I had this teacher, Miss Moton, this black lady, and she was like, she went to UCLA at a young age, so she was very high on herself. I was at UCLA when I was 17 years old, so I'm like, you had a late birthday, motherfucker. Like,
Right.
like I was in college at 17 also, not because I was smart, because I had a late birthday. So
Wait, when is your birthday? Not.
November 7th.
Oh, okay.
November 7th.
Yeah, it's really late.
Yeah, so it's like, I was, I wanted to, I didn't want to be a comedian back then, but I was always a class clown. I got in trouble a lot for telling jokes in class. And then one day she pulled Ricky, a friend of mine, and myself outside of class. She was like, black people ain't always got to be making jokes, Keenan. It's not always about that. I went to UCLA when I was 17. We fucking know. You know what I'm saying? And then she was just like, yo, we can be better than that. What do you want to be when you grow up? And I said the dumbest shit in the world because I was just angry. Because I thought she was kind of like, she was kind of calling me out a little bit. So she was like, well, what do you want to be when you grow up? I said, I want to be a businessman. And she was like, and my boy Ricky was like, nigga, businessman ain't no job. Nigga, like,
occupation.
Ain't no major.
What is it you do, Mr. Baker?
You go
I'm
to
a
college.
businessman.
Yeah, you go to college and that's your major is businessman. Like,
Got a degree in business.
yeah. So because he was like, dude, I don't want you to be an Eddie Murphy type. She reiterated that like real big.
Wow.
And I remember saying that, and then my boy had a really good answer I forgot what he said, but he said something very smart. And I was just like, all right, man, I'm gonna make sure I go to college and just do right. And I ain't gonna get into entertainment. And then so I wasn't in it. I didn't mess with it.
Where is he at now?
Oh, my boy Rick.
Yeah.
He works for the
law enforcement.
Law enforcement. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, he's doing well. But he's one of the good ones.
Yeah.
Good.
He don't do what you think he do. He just do what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
So like, yeah, pretty much that's like, I ended up getting into comedy because Bileko started comedy first. He started doing stand up first. So I would go watch him. And I was like, man, this is crazy, man. I'm gonna start this January 1st, New Year's, my New Year's resolution. I was 24 years old, and I was just like, yo, I don't keep any of these resolutions, dog. I literally within like 7 days I stopped doing whatever I committed to from January 1st. So I said, fuck it, I'm gonna start December. So I started in December, and then I've been doing it ever since, man. Just like making people laugh across the country, man. And actually being able to travel across the country and do it, not just like a local comic. You know what I mean?
That's
so
amazing.
I've lucked up, yeah. Hard work, dedication.
Consistency.
Yeah.
So Huck.
No,
I'm not done here. So why do you do it?
Huh?
Why do you do it?
I'll be honest, like, yo, so my dad, he preached education super hard. Like, he was always like, yo, man. He's like an old school dude. Yo, nigga, you know what I'm saying? you go out here, you supposed to get a job. You know what I'm saying? That's how he was raised, to go get a job, and that's how a lot of times our parents raise us, not to like necessarily, go for your dreams and shit like that. So I went to college to do that, and I never found a major that I loved. I liked a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? I liked a lot of different things, but I never loved anything. So my major switched like 6 times. I transferred 3 colleges, nigga. It was just like, this is how it was, because I didn't have no passion for nothing. And then, when I ran into stand-up, I always like making people laugh. I thought I was going to make it to the NBA, 5'9", out there, you saying Thomas. Bugsy Bowles was my favorite player growing up, so I was always for the short cats. And then I was just like, I was good at basketball, making people laugh. That's what I actually loved doing, both of those things. Basketball ain't happening. I'm not naive. But I was just like, all right. I did comedy. The first time I stepped on stage, I did well. I was like, I need this. I love this, like out the gate. And even when I bombed the second time I was on stage, I bombed hard, nigga, like booed. How
did you feel after that? Like, did you want to quit? Like, what was going through your mind?
I blamed the suit. I wore a suit. Like, I wore a suit. Like
you wore what color?
Well, I wore like a tie and like a dress pants. Remember it was that show we did?
Yeah.
It was this show. This dude lied about this show pretty much, but it was actually an Apollo style show. So he encouraged people to. He encouraged people to boo. He encouraged you to boo. So it was like,
crazy.
I went on stage, bro, and I was like, yo, hey, fuck the police. And it just echoed. Police. And it was like 200-300 people in there. And they just started booing me, nigga, out the gate.
Well, what was the funny thing? Remember we went to go sit back down? That one big girl that thought she was funny but wasn't really funny, she kept rubbing on your bald head?
Yeah.
That shit was hilarious.
So, it's funny. When I got booed.
She thought you was like the Apollo Rock?
Yeah, maybe. So pretty much after a dude kind of pulled me and said, hey, come on, brother. You ain't doing too hot, brother. You ain't doing too hot. He kind of pulling me off stage, kind of slow, whatever, and I get off stage. And I still wasn't afraid. I was like, I want to get back on stage. I want to go another club and redeem myself.
That's the best part about it, right?
Yeah, I was like, that's great. That's how I knew I loved it. I was like, yo, because I wasn't like, yo, man, this ain't for me. I was like, nah, nigga, this is for me. I'm going to get better at this. And that was the first thing I actually loved. So that's why I do it, because I love making people laugh, man. And I know you can make a good living off it.
All right.
Yeah.
So what about you, Huck Berry? Tell us about yourself. Where you from? How'd you get here? And
mine is pretty boring. So try to stay awake. I am from Chicago.
Holla.
Yes, I moved out here in the year 2011, right after I got married to my beautiful wife.
For a long time, man.
Yeah, this is the thing. I pick up on shit, man.
So
this nigga don't sound like enthusiastic at all about none of this.
I've been married since 2011.
From my beautiful wife, I guess.
But y'all, my man, damn, she bad.
No,
like just go into a deep trance or something.
I mean, not like that.
Wait.
At least fool her.
Oh, okay. I can't wait to talk. Okay.
Nah, but just be like, yo, man, I'm just married to my beautiful wife, and you just kind of like you. We'll get into marriage later. Go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry.
So yeah, we moved out here. Basically, we found out through a letter, basically that we were moving out here. Basically, we came out here with nothing, no one,
no
friends, and fast forward. She's a physician. I am a music producer, engineer. And when I got out here, I didn't have a job, so I was just kind of doing graphics. And then one day she just said, "Hey, I think we should open up a studio." So
it was her idea.
It was her idea.
Oh, dope,
strong.
super dope.
Yeah, I was very nervous because one, I didn't go to school for engineering, and I like to do things the right way.
Yeah.
I like to give people what they pay for. So I don't want to just be like one of those dudes like, oh yeah, I got Pro Tools and a little interface. Let me just start recording. So we found a spot, and I took all of my savings from my previous job where I was working with children with autism, and invested it into the studio, and flew the gear that I did have from Chicago. I got that gear through doing a 15-hour kissing contest with her.
What in the?
What? 15 hours
Wait.
straight.
Explain, because you're not giving. You gotta give details. Bro.
So
What is
so
this?
so check this out. 2004, there was a kissing contest on Valentine's Day at a mall for Kiss FM, the radio station.
Yeah.
So we
It's like just a 16 hours.
basically we had to have our lips locked or just touching each other to stay qualified.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing. The day before, and I didn't have a lot of rest because she was like, "Oh, there's a kissing contest that either she just signed us up for or whatever, and it was for $5,000."
Y'all was dating at the time, or y'all married at the time?
We were dating.
Okay.
So
It's ambitious.
yeah,
Yeah.
so she's like, "We're gonna do this kissing contest tomorrow," and I was like, "Okay." So 6:00 in the morning, right? We wake up. We drive to like an hour away
Uh-huh.
to get to this mall at 9 a.m.
Uh-huh.
And it went from 7 to 9. It ended at 8 or 9 at night.
Fuck.
We didn't take you could take 1 10-minute break.
I was gonna say, yeah. Where's the break?
Yeah, and we took it around like 8:00. So like standing around us was like 27 other couples,
Mhm.
and they all fell out, passed out, got disqualified. Boom, boom, boom. At the end of the competition, or at the end of the time where they stopped it at 9 at night, it was 9 at night because the mall closed at 9. The janitor, the custodian, I don't use the janitor. I don't know why I did.
The trash engineer.
Yes.
Sanitary.
The trash engineer?
Yeah, sanitary engineer.
So
Trash engineer ass nigga. Jesus.
so he drew our name. It was 3 other couples still left at the end of the competition, and he drew our name out of a hat. And basically, we won that $5,000.
Get out of here.
So I took 2,500 of mine and maybe another 500 of hers, and
3,500 of yours.
well, it wasn't really 3,500
Yeah.
mine, but yes,
Yeah.
and invested into the studio. So I had all of that gear, what I did have, shipped out here, and then boom, here we are today, and I'm sitting here with you
This nigga
guys.
skipped mad steps. I know
Okay.
he did. So here we are today, 2004, 2009.
Yeah.
What? Come on, man. Come on, bro. Like,
He said that was 2011, 2018.
Come on,
I
bro.
missed 7 years.
this nigga been 7 years. But first of all, I would like to applaud your wife for like believing in you to get a studio. Like
That's
that
dope.
doesn't happen a lot.
That's
That's
honorable.
like, I mean, I understand that you might be like, nigga, use whatever. But that's huge.
That's
like,
honorable.
took a chance on you and was like, she believed in you enough to be like, I'll get the studio and I know you'll figure this engineering stuff out. So that's
Yeah, I think when I feel she's confident in my abilities.
Yeah.
Small stuff that I've accomplished.
right.
Which is giving her like a bigger
Confident.
vision and confidence. So
That's big, man.
That's
Thank
huge.
you.
You gotta
Very
understand that a
honorable.
lot of people when in couples and relationships, they don't have that. They put their significant other down. So for you to have that, you gotta really kind of be thankful for that shit, bruh.
no, I do
Yeah.
appreciate it. I do
Yeah,
appreciate
yeah.
her support. Yeah.
Okay. You missed about
Okay.
um.
Okay. We're okay. We're gonna stop at 2012 now.
Okay. So I wanted to ask you too, like, because it's different things.
Yes, sir.
Is she the breadwinner?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say yes, because this music industry
Fluctuates.
is flaky.
Yeah.
There's some months where, well, not really anymore, but there used to be months where I would be like, I don't know if I'm gonna make $1.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. Some people my income is based off other people's lives.
Yeah. And there's
So-
rather when you make music, right?
Yeah.
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 So
That's
like
right.
if someone gets up and like I quit, well, that's a client I just lost. Now I got to go find a new one. So it's not like given. It's not a given check every 2 weeks.
Right.
And that's with any entrepreneur type of
yeah, that's real.
situation.
Oh yeah, that's real.
Yeah. So she's a breadwinner. How is
Is that
that?
dynamic?
Yeah, because a lot of times I have another homie that had that same thing when he came out here.
Mm-hmm.
His wife was the breadwinner, and she held him down same way. She held him down until he got on his feet.
Mm-hmm.
How does that work? Is it like, because sometimes it can go bad if like somebody might feel like, yo man, I'm doing all the work, man. You need to, or since you kind of like equaled out,
Yeah.
is everything cool now, or was there any trouble?
There was no trouble. I think financially, like we don't have issues where we worry. We try not to worry about money. And make that like a big thing about our relationship because that's what most relationships end.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we really try not to deal with that.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of that's, and when it comes to finances, that's where most relationships break
Yes.
down.
Yes.
That's why when people get married, they always say it's a business, and it's like, yo, if you're not actually in love with somebody, man, don't do this shit. Because I think finances break people so fast, and it's dope that you and your wife have that dynamic where it's like, all right, y'all was like, we ain't letting this break us. Like, money's not gonna be the issue of why whatever happens between us happens between us. And now you're definitely on your feet in the studio making consistent money, and she's doing well also. So that's super. That's dope as hell.
Right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. What about
Bileko?
Yeah. What about you? Since the egotistical guy that wanted to ask his own question for himself.
Hey, what happened to Bileko? Hugged me 7 years. Let's get to me. All right. Where do we begin? Thank you, Keenan. My name is Bileko Wissa. Bileko Wissa. I'm from LA. My family history. I'm from the Congo. First generation here. Comedian, writer, whatever you want to call it, actor. I guess how did I get there? Fuck, man, what a journey. So went to school, graduated. Went to college, graduated. I don't know. I always just took a liking. Like Dave Chappelle was always just really funny. Dave and Eddie Murphy were really funny to me. I love Eddie Murphy. Vampire in Brooklyn.
So he was the one that kind of got you started in the direction of comedy. And when was the idea of being a comedian in your head? Like, I want to do stand-up comedy.
Dave Chappelle, for what it's worth, because he wore a Muhammad Ali shirt where it said Zaire on it.
And you saw that and was like, yo, that's...
Yeah, because I don't know, I'm very analytical because of my like science background in school. Like, I did research on his family, and his mom knows how to speak Lingala. That's the language in Congo.
Chappelle. That's dope.
Chappelle's mom, right?
That's dope.
Because like in the time, like in the 60s and 70s, Congo was such a big Zaire at the time was such a big nation. His mom, like, I think went to Congo. She spoke the language and all sorts of stuff. I was like, man, this is crazy. Like, I don't know, like, you know how like if something kind of relates to you, you kind of take a liking to it or whatever. Yeah. So I don't know, I just took like a liking to stand up. So I remember just going to like open mics or whatever.
When was this?
Probably 2000 and when I started, was it 2009? No, 2008. 2008. I would just go to open mics or whatever, and did comedy for like 4 years. Comedy's very, very, very hard. Very, very, very hard or whatever.
Absolutely.
And but I have like a bad personality. I have a bad problem. Like, I quit easily. So when stuff gets hard, I quit. So like I stopped doing comedy for like 2 years. Went back to school, got 2 master's degrees.
Wow.
Fucking hated it. Yeah. I was like, oh, I think I'll, when you African or you foreign, they always tell you when you come to this country, become a doctor, a lawyer, or an engineer. So I was like, all right, fuck it, I'm just gonna become a doctor. So I got 2 masters. The whole time I'm in getting these 2 masters, I'm just writing scripts. I'm just writing jokes. So I'd be in class, I'd be like, oh, lab. All right, I did the homework.
So still doing what you really love.
Right.
Yeah.
So, did that. Now I'm just like, no, I want to do comedy because it's like, go back to doing comedy because like, it's not about the money. Like my day job, I work alongside doctors. And even though Huck, your wife is she's a doctor, I'm hoping she's one of the doctors that's happy with what she does. Because I would say out of 10 doctors I'm around, whether they're PhD, MDs, or EDDs, I would say maybe like 7 are miserable.
Yeah.
One of them, it's funny because one of them, and one of my mentors, this lady's brilliant. She has like a PhD in genetics. Fucking brilliant, right? She found out that I used to do comedy, so she's like one of those do research. She'll like YouTube me. She's like, oh my gosh, you're hilarious. She's like, why don't you just do that? Like, I wish I had that talent. I was like, this is hilarious. You make $200,000 a year, you have 3 houses, but it's not your passion. Because her parents were lawyers. So they're like, oh, just become a doctor. Like, we're around like our college and stuff like that. That is such honorable because back home in Congo, for example, during colonization, and just like here in the States, with colonization here to like Black Americans, education was taken away. So for us to come here, you have the chance to get an education, go fucking get it. But I guess I would say, to answer your question, like being having that background of being African, like, and that being the pressure, there was a couple of aunts and uncles that were like pro it. They're like, man, that's really dope. Because guess what? They were musicians back home, but when they come here, they had to become nurses because they had to survive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
back home, like, it'd be like, oh no, he was a big time musician. He was a big time actor back home. But to come here and survive, he's a nurse. He's an LVN. He's a nurse's assistant.
Yeah.
She works at what's called Food for Less. Or she's like, wow, you're pursuing your dream. That's really dope. But like, our family doesn't talk because there's just so much pain coming from Congo. But the ones that the other aunts and uncles that are around that are like, no, this is dope. They kind of keep you going because they're creative themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's more so like, it's really that bullshit. Like, oh, you're messing up the family name, but it's like, you have to do what makes you happy.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's in a lot of cases. Like, I think our parents, sometimes we feel like, it's like, in that aspect, it's like, yeah, you judge a lot. And it's like, as a parent, if you don't do well as a child, the parent fails.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, between my brother and myself, and if you count my younger brother, my younger stepbrother, and then my half sister, stuff like that, there's 6 degrees between us, 6 college degrees. Now, only 2 people had a college degrees. My brother has 4 of them. My younger brother, my stepbrother, he has 2 of them. And it's like my dad, he always forces a degree on me, but I don't even necessarily think it's necessarily for me. It's for him to say, I've succeeded. I came from the hood of New York, from Brooklyn. I made it, and I got my kids college educated, and it looks good. Like, both my kids, man, they got degrees in engineering and marketing and stuff like that. It's not even necessarily about what makes you happy.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think, like, our parents' generation, they were taught, because like us, we're taught like the way to succeed, you need to go to school, you need to go to college, right? Which is fine. But like for our generation, we're seeing niggas do a video, it hits, go viral, they start a whole fucking entertainment career, make millions of dollars, and it's like, why would I wait 8 years?
Yeah. Well, our generation came from the creators of MySpace and Facebook.
Right.
So those people became billionaires and
Right.
multimillionaires at 25. And exactly. I don't necessarily knock our parents because our parents are being programmed to think that way. You know what I'm saying? They're just doing what they're told, and that's how they succeeded. And it's like it's kind of archaic now. Like certain things don't apply from back in the day to now. Hard work always applies, but it's like, it's okay for you to go what you love. Just have hard work and help guide them that way. But I do think that, it's like our generation has looked at it like now. We got a chance to see Tom from MySpace. As funny as it is now, we used to clown him, but he sold MySpace for like $500 million, whatever it was, and he was under 30 years old. So when we see stuff like that, we understand that now that it's possible. Our parents didn't think that shit was possible. They didn't know a 25-year-old that made $500 million that it wasn't given to him from like passed down generations
because it wasn't there. The opportunity wasn't there.
Exactly, and it's like, and I think for us, our generation creates more opportunities than our parents did.
Let me say, I grew up in a household, obviously with, a father figure there, but I had other, male figures and present. And my mother taught me to always have a backup plan. So follow your dreams, but have a backup plan.
Yeah.
So between, my siblings, I was the first, because I'm the oldest, to go to college. When at 17.
Yeah.
At 17.
I went to college, went to art school, and then transferred to music business school, where I combined my classes. I got a business management degree. But I got out of there, and my first job was working at a pizza restaurant. And then I quit that and went across the street and worked directly across the street. Like I can look through the glass at the pizza restaurant, and I went to a UPS store. Damn. And this was just because I didn't want to be, living downtown. We were, my wife and I at the time was my fiance.
Yeah.
Like I didn't want to be living downtown and not, helping out with rent and all of that stuff.
Right.
But my mother always kind of believed like in me, I guess, like if I needed some piece of gear, like I would say, hey, I need to get this digital recorder for Christmas, whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
But
that's dope.
She let me go to an art college.
Right.
Because obviously she helped pay for it.
Yeah.
But it's like that belief that you have you have the talent, like you can go to, because some parents are like, no, you're not gonna go get a major in writing, like, or,
That's my
you
dad. My dad literally said, I wanted to go to a college for, like, I think at the time it was like e-business. That's when that was kind of getting hot, like, and he's like, I wanted, so it was like a college called, like, it's kind of like a DeVry type college, right? And he's
trade,
like,
like
yeah, trade. Yeah, he's like, nigga, go to real college.
Like,
He was like, you gonna go to a real college, or you gonna join the military.
And major in sociology.
Yeah,
Like what?
But he just, like, to him, and like I said, it's not his fault. It's what he was taught too. Going to college meant something. Going to college meant you got an education, you automatically got a job, and that shit does not mean that. And I think that generation doesn't understand that.
wow.
Like, the fact that you had that is huge. That your
Supports,
mom, even though she was like, "Yo, it's cool to have a backup plan." Like, I can't, like, it would be dope if, like, my dad at a young age was like, "Yo, you want to get into acting and comedy and stuff like that? All right, I'm trying to get you into commercial classes, get you an agent.
Right.
But when I'm doing all this for you, you're gonna have to go to college still. But I'm gonna push you towards this and get you ready for this stuff too. This is what you actually want to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then, that would have helped out. But it was like, nah, you're going to college. I don't even care what your major is. It's like, but you're going to a 4-year. You know what I'm saying?
Not to change the subject, but Huck, this is interesting, Huck.
Yes, sir.
'Cause you
Yes,
talk
sir.
about being married.
Yes.
How come you don't wear a ring?
That is a very interesting and good question. So if you follow the music industry, you can actually kind of see that this is almost like a trend. Like, if you look at, it was never cool. Like, you never see Too Short like post that he's married or in a relationship.
Right.
You know, it just became a thing now. Like, Rick Ross, he just recently got married, or somebody.
Beyonce and Jay-Z changed the dynamic,
Gucci,
man.
and they started the trend. Like, it's okay now.
Yeah.
But you really don't see
Oh, wow.
Rick Ross still, like, you don't see them all out with rings. Like, I don't really see them. Like Gucci, like, I know he just got married or whatever.
Yo, that's
Now,
crazy.
but check this out. That's not the reason why.
This detour and everything.
Switch y'all off.
Follow me, play.
So no, but one, the ring that I did have, I lost it.
That's hilarious.
Two,
Was she mad?
no, I bought it.
Right.
Yeah. And what?
Of course he did.
The ring though, because
Right.
I know male wedding bands aren't that expensive, right? Did you actually get an expensive one, or you got one of the cheap ones?
It was like $100 or $200.
Okay, not
But it was like
crazy.
it was a black one, because I'm not really a jewelry person. Like,
Yeah.
my mother just got me this dog chain, and I'm like, yeah, but it got a sentiment, like
It's
a
a
meaning.
meaning
Yeah.
to it. Yeah.
So, I'm not really a jewelry person.
Yeah.
I wear a watch and that's it. But no rings and bling and all that
Yeah.
stuff. So, but the other reason is people in the music industry, going back to music industry, will get in your business. So if I'm at a networking event, like, and they see that I have a ring, they'll assume like, oh, this guy's a family guy. Now, I don't look like I'm 40, or not that I am. I'm 34.
Yeah.
But, people will assume that, oh, he's a family guy, like, he's not going to be on this business, like,
Wow.
That's something completely different. I even thought. Yeah.
Right.
yeah, and it's really something you have to be careful. Like, go ahead. It's almost like discrimination in a way.
Yeah, no, it's
Damn.
weird because, like,
Discriminating.
with my science background, if you came in with a wedding ring, oh my gosh, how honorable is that? Like, man, I think you'd probably get more grants, like more higher people will talk to you. Like, 'cause it's like, oh no, he's responsible.
It's life
he's on
together.
PA.
Yeah, it's life
Yeah.
together.
Together. Like, that's crazy. Like, I thought the reason why they didn't wear wedding rings or didn't even show their, like, significant other, like, especially like before, like, the internet and stuff like that, was because you want your fan base to have an illusion that they can be with you.
Now, obviously, that doesn't apply to me, because I'm just a producer and engineer. I'm just in the studio.
Right.
So when it does apply to me in the studio, sometimes, like, sometimes clients will be like, oh, you're going out of town? Who are you going? And see, I try to be like, I'm just closed for a few days. Where are you going?
Yeah.
So it's like, if I introduce the whole, now some people are just now finding out that I'm married. Obviously, right now we just announced it.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's like, they're going to
Sorry,
be,
ladies.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
but now they're going to be like, oh, so who is she? Like, what? You don't post.
Right.
Like, they're gonna be asking questions like you are right now.
That you
Yeah.
don't.
It's-
That
and
you
it's like
don't-
I'm trying to work.
Yeah.
You know, trying to get.
Right.
This is
you
the
know?
business. I'm not here to get personal with your ass. Just
Yeah.
get in here to make these tracks.
It's,
You know what I'm saying?
a ladies tracks.
Drop these tracks
these
down.
bars.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's a lot. It's a lot that goes on
Mhm.
in behind the studio doors. You know.
Being that's the thing. Like being married and being in entertainment,
Mm-hmm.
or being in a relationship in entertainment. Do you think it's hard? Is there any temptations that you ever face or might face for any of us in here? Like, is there anything like you like? Oh man, it's just like. Have you ever been like, I don't want to tell somebody I'm married because, either the chance or I don't want to tell somebody you're in a
I lose
relationship.
the opportunity or something.
Yeah,
Or
because
what?
because I know like I'm in a relationship also, but I don't care to like. I understand like when as a stand-up comedian, it can bring a lot of women, right?
Mm-hmm.
So after the show, people want to come up to you, hey, how you doing? Okay, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I don't ever have an issue being like I'm in a relationship. Like it doesn't bother me because I feel like even nowadays it's kind of crazy. Saying you're married brings a lot more women.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucked up, but I know people that mess with married people all the time. And because they now I don't know if because they know that person's I guess considered a great person because somebody took the time to marry them or what. But it's like married people be getting a lot of love out in these streets,
Oh, yeah.
and and people don't be tripping on it like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's not why I say I'm in a relationship. So people are like, yo, you in a relationship? Yeah. Okay, then we want you more. But I'm saying I just don't.
Right.
I don't care to hide it.
Mm-hmm.
Would you ever hide it for any other reason, or be you two? And if I don't know,
If go ahead.
No, I was saying like, okay, so like, still kind of like in a novice level where you're still trying to make your way up, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm just saying it from now at this level. If I'm married and you're at a level where it's like people know who you are, you're successful, and I don't know, let's say, let's say for example, the podcast blows up or whatever, you're in a big time movie or whatever, I would honor and respect my like wife and my relationship or whatever, because I don't know, like, I think once you get to that level and you just start fucking around and sleeping with different chicks, that makes you too vulnerable to get caught, and there's too much money in order to let somebody come in that just likes the image of you, of your success, but they weren't there when you weren't successful.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't want to give that person that credit, or to be like, I'm that tangible where you can touch me and you feel like you can be with me.
I mean, nowadays I don't trust nobody.
Yeah, right.
I don't trust none of these motherfuckers, man.
Right.
Like
no,
any
real shit. Like,
anybody slide in my
Niggas-
DM, nigga. I'm be like, who
man.
set you up, nigga? Who set you up? to do
No,
this?
no.
Like
that
I'm
shit is
being
real.
real. Like I'm being
Mhm.
real. Like it's like
Man.
nowadays.
So every time someone approaches you, feel like you've been set up.
Not that I'm necessarily being set up, but it's like I look at different. There's different things I look at, right?
Okay.
One I think I could be being set up, right?
Okay.
When it comes to well, really when it comes to the internet, not necessarily in person. When it comes to the internet, somebody sliding in my DM, I'm definitely side eyeing your ass. I'm like,
Yeah.
what you really want out here?
Why are you trying to add me?
Yeah,
Why
I
you trying to
can't.
follow me.
Yeah, exactly. I can't necessarily say I fully trust you, but when it comes to that, like even in person, I don't even necessarily I don't really do any flirting like that. I might do a little bit, but it's one of those things like. Because, like, when a lot of times for as guys, you kind of want a female fan base because they're the most loyal, to be honest. Like, women are loyal as hell and they will become your fans.
Oh, hell yeah. They'll follow you throughout.
So it's like, for me, I don't know. I guess for me, I don't want anybody, my lady to feel like she's a ghost, like she's not there.
Mhm.
One.
Right.
Two, I'm not going to leave a great situation for a good situation. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
it's downgrade.
Perfect for a good.
yeah. Well, I'm not. No situation's perfect. So I
Okay,
would
no,
never say
okay.
perfect.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. You know what?
Well, I'm just saying in
Yeah.
general. I understand that
Watch
shit
your
happens, but it's
tone,
like
Keenan, she's listening.
it's not that. But I'm saying in general, it's one of those things like, that's how I try to think about it. Like, all right, like I said, I ain't gonna sit here and be fucking girls for hours. So this ain't gonna be an hour session with this chick. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a good 7 to 10. So is it worth fucking up my relationship that's possibly years for 7 to 10 minutes, possibly 15 at tops? No, nigga, it's not. It's not.
Okay.
So why,
No. Can you bring a good point? Like, Huck, so you have a studio.
Yes, sir.
With all these talented people here in LA is full of like up and coming talent.
Mhm,
Like
mhm.
with all these like dope girls or whatever, or group singers and rappers.
Mm-hmm.
How do you deal with that temptation? Like, I mean, you don't wear the ring, so they don't ask the question.
Mm-hmm.
But it still has to be hard. Like, you know.
No, I mean, look, check it out.
Comic, like
It's a definitely it's a challenge. You know, I can't lie. You know, you come across different energies. And especially with the type of song, sometimes they come in and here's the thing. The songs are created from the heart. Right?
Right.
So this is what their mind is thinking. So if they get on the song and they're talking about, I want to lick you, like they do, they talk. In you know, but like in that booth.
Yeah.
So, but they're saying, I'll do this to you, I'll do this to you, I'll do this to you, and you're like on the outside, like, dang, you are a freak.
Yeah.
Like,
me.
you would do that, and you know you.
What are they making songs about, licking ass or something? What's
I mean,
happening?
but it's pretty close.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like you're sitting and sometimes the sessions are very long.
Yeah.
So you're really trying to just take yourself out of the studio but still be here mentally
I what you're saying.
and you
But
know,
swing that rock though.
all that. So go ahead. No,
No, I was gonna say that. I mean, that's interesting because it's like, yeah, if you're going in here and the woman is attractive and she's coming in here and she's saying some crazy freaky stuff, at least your mind probably racing now, like, yo, yeah. She wasn't even looking at her like that.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She came in the studio with a hoodie on.
Yeah.
Talking about doing this crazy thing. Like, damn, this is I didn't
looking
know
like
she-
yo, the young Ma with a
Yeah.
something like that. Like, and then you just flipped it like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, well, not that I would. Nah. Okay.
Yeah.
That was a bad example.
I was looking. I was like, huh? Okay, you like what you like.
But you're able to at a point you're able to pull yourself out of that mentally and be like, okay, I understand this is just music. Even though she's feeling this way, it's coming from the heart. You understand that, all right, you know, I'm just a producer. There's no reason for me to, you know, I guess you're able to take yourself out of that external, external, I guess.
Yeah,
External.
I mean, there's some times where I think some songs are written purposely.
Purposely.
Yes.
Sound it
There
out.
you
Yeah.
go.
Thank you.
It's a vow.
Yeah. In trying to spark some type of interest in a way.
You think songs have been made to entice you?
Or she comes to the studio. She's like, I'm gonna work on this song.
No,
with you.
don't use she. They or something.
They.
Yeah.
That don't even know. No, you know what? That know what? Let's go with she. Let's go.
Nah, nigga.
No,
You open Pandora's box, homie.
So I'm saying, so the female artist you think might come in here with a specific song to work with you to make you interested in her.
Here's the thing. I mean, I think there's a possibility. I think there's a very big possibility that sometimes people will write stuff knowing that you're listening, and yes,
okay.
and it's like writing a letter to you that I'm gonna read out loud.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
And kind of hoping you catch it because it's like, I'm not necessarily saying this
Yeah.
directly to you, but maybe you'll pick up on
so
it.
we can't, you know.
Yeah.
Because it's music.
I
it's
can't
like
get.
metaphor.
I'm not getting in trouble because I basically this is my thoughts. I'm speaking out loud.
Yeah.
fucking conniving.
This music industry is very different and very dark.
So Keenan, like you doing kind of crazy, Huck. So Keenan, you doing comedy. What's like some of the hardest things you had to deal with, like doing comedy?
I mean, a lot of things I think is when it comes to comedy is like some of it's self. It's like just dealing with yourself and your mentality and staying confident. Because I think a lot of times, sometimes you feel like you're not funny. When you bomb, you definitely question life, my nigga. You be like, yo, bro, I'm about to go get this job at McDonald's, man. It's just like,
Oh my goodness.
because a lot of it is confidence. But also too, I think it's like sometimes when you're dealing with comedy clubs, a lot of it is political. You know, and there's trends.
Speak on
they'll
it.
be like, yo, you know, they're putting in a certain a lot of times with black comics, they consider us, oh, you a Def Jam comic, so they might not want to put you in the club as easy because they think you can only cater to black people. So they just be like, all right now the trend is quote unquote smart and
Woke?
smart woke comics. Not even necessarily funny, but
Mm.
like smart and woke black comics. So they get pushed in, and it's like it's not like I'm like I think I'm a hybrid. I think I'm both. But it's like, yo, at the end of the day, it's like funny's funny, nigga. Like it's just like, yo, let the funniest person in. Don't sit there and you know what I'm saying? Don't sit there and push me out because you feel like I'm whatever type of comic. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, you. Like the hardest thing, I would say, I'm because you brought up comedy, which is like so probably the same thing. I think about like acting wise. I remember being on sets where the temptation of a fellow, like, and I don't even say the temptation of a fellow actress when she's trying to get on. Like I've had actors I'd be on set with just get their breast done, show me their breast. I'm like, what do you think? I'm like, oh, you trying to let me smash or whatever? She's like, no, I'm just, you
wait,
can tell.
wait, you asked?
Yeah, I was like, you trying to have it? She was like, no, look, I just got them done. I'm just like, yo, these are immaculate. I'd love to suck them. But like, you know what I mean? But she's like, you can tell she's doing it to move up. And it's just like, dang. Like
Opportunist.
Right, an opportunist. And you're just like, man, this is crazy. Is this how like the business is? You kind of think from the outside looking in, you hope it's just all talent. Like, let's just be talent based, but that's not the world we live in.
Nah, anybody coming to Hollywood trying to make it ain't gonna be about talent, y'all. A little bit, but it's gonna be mostly about
Right.
opportunity and stuff like that.
But see, that's the stuff. Small stuff like that will happen.
Right.
Like, I'll just be sitting here. Like, I'm almost like a psychiatrist in a way because I hear the craziest stuff, and I have to give my best opinion or just listen.
Right.
But I've heard things like, a female will show, not show me, but I'm like, oh, bro, okay.
Just show me.
Yeah,
Show me
she'll tell me. Sorry, she'll tell me that she just got her breast done, just like you said or whatever. And basically, it's like, why are you telling me this?
Right.
And it's like, and then be like, I don't know what to say,
Right.
what to do, but it's stuff like that happens. Or a female would say like, hey, I'm having these problems with my boyfriend, whatever. And, I think I give him good sex. Like, I'm listening through this stuff.
Yeah.
And like, so even though they're, not purposely like telling me, like trying something, but they're telling me this stuff. So that's where also the temptation pops in.
Right. Plus, especially when you find a beautiful woman that's vulnerable. And then saying, remember us, we're like what? We're aggressive. You know what I mean? Like, yo, I don't know, because in art, especially like you have a girl come into the studio, an artist come in here, and when she sings a song about like dumb, sexual, or this that, she's very vulnerable. So she's emotionally so open. Like even like I know it's comedy. People think, oh, it's only comedy or even acting. It's art. You have to look within. You have to dig into your emotions. So you find a chick that's fucking vulnerable, man.
Wait,
Easy.
well, you sound like okay.
No, I'm saying. I mean,
I don't know where you're going with this.
I don't know either, but I'm just saying though.
What are you gonna do to it?
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm like, what's that? I'm not saying a goddamn thing. I'm like, all right, man.
I'm just saying, they
yourself in the
vulnerable. I just leave it at that.
When you find one,
When you find one, you take her down. That's what I was going. No, hell no. Well, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Nah, and you know what's funny? Like, and as entertainers, especially for us as comedians, we got to hit the road. And it's like, temptation on the road is like, can be tough.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I've been single on the road and it's been cool. But like, now that I'm not, it's funny. It hasn't been that bad for me because I feel like since I'm not necessarily a superstar like that, I'm like a feature. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feature for like the headliner, right?
Okay.
So I mean, some stuff comes your way, but for the most part, it's not as bad. It's easy to kind of like dodge or whatever like that. But I mean, temptation is hard. Like, there's people out there on the road, they got to do it. There's somebody that told me a story about how he's a married dude, and he was like saying how his wife was like, "Look, I understand you're a dude. It's what you do. Okay, here's the thing. If you agree to it, all right. If you're gonna smash on the road, do that. But here's the thing: you can't fuck the same girl twice. You can
Wow.
you can only have sex with her one time because now when you
Whoa.
fuck her twice,
You know,
that's a relationship.
it's
now you like
emotions.
this bitch. Yeah. Now you like this bitch. But if you want to go back to Memphis and fuck a new one, hey, no problem. Go back to Memphis and fuck a new one. I'm not here fucking nobody else. So don't think I'm saying that so you can go ahead. So you can go ahead and have sex. Because I'm having sex with a bunch of people. She was like, nah, I understand that you're on the road a good amount of times of the year, so you're gonna do stuff like that. I'd rather just know that I gave you the open to do that, and you're not doing it behind my back. And I was just like, yo, that is nuts.
You have to have. I mean, not saying
Open
that
relationship.
other women are not strong, but you have to be. I don't know what you have to have, what type of personality trait to be able to allow your man.
Or
Yeah.
anybody, even if you're the dude and it's a female comic and she's hitting the road and letting her do that. It's like, I always say this. You need whoever you're with.
Letting your wife get beat down.
You need to figure out the rules to y'all relationship only.
What work?
Whatever works for you guys. Some people are cool with polygamy. Some people are cool with being open. Some people are not cool with it. So it's like you need to understand. I need to come to that agreement. So you understand when you go do stuff is fine or not. Like, just be open and honest. Communication is the number one reason why. That and finances are the two reasons why relationships fail.
Speak on it.
So when you communicate, you know what I'm saying? A lot of shit gets resolved off the top, out the gate. When I was dating, I was open and honest, and sometimes I know I'll probably be too open and honest up front, so I might even lost some, but I didn't give a shit because you ain't gonna be the deal with me. I'm a pretty blunt person, so it's like, you know, when you're open and honest, that person knows what they're getting into. There's no hiding no shit. They're like, oh, I don't know this about you. This is crazy. It's like, nah,
to wear?
This is who I am. But it's like for those cases, you know, his wife knew the type of person he was. She knew that he wasn't gonna stop fucking because we got married. She knew that. So she was just like, yo, I understand. That's why I said you can't. As long as I know you love me, you're taking care of our family, and you're not paying another bitch's bills, because that's where the whole you can't have.
That's where the cutoff.
Yeah, it's now you're hurting me.
You know, things got
or make it
done.
even.
The threshold is like
High.
very high for him.
Yeah.
And what do? Do you be like, okay, cool, I'm gonna fuck as much as possible? Or you would be like, yo,
What if she's
and
fucking?
this guy was older. Not I just said she said she's not.
Wow.
She said.
She said anyways. So I don't know. She could be. But like, he was an older guy too. This wasn't a guy that was like our age, like in our early 30s, and we still look in our 20s, some of us. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, this guy was like
I look it.
this guy was like well into his 40s, going into his 50s, and he looked like it.
God dang.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Get psoriasis.
So maybe she just looked at him as like, yo, he's a breadwinner, and he's picking
See,
up
that's the other thing.
picking up steam, and she's cool with it.
That's the flip side. Money can allow you to get
yeah.
away with a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Especially, I mean,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not going to talk about different races, but
Oh yeah.
you know, it general,
Oh, yeah.
like it.
Look, I cheat on my girl, or whatever. We're gonna break up. I have $1 million and I cheat on her. She'll be like, well, he has a lot of options. Now she's thinking rational. You know, he does have $1 million. He's very busy. He works hard.
Some cases that's very true. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
it does. Money, finances makes it easier to cope with, right? If you, it does. It's a fact. A lot of times, if somebody is, unless you're somebody that has it on your own, right? Because in some cases, what happens is somebody might get with somebody, like a woman might get with a man that's, you know, he's a multimillionaire and she doesn't have a lot. So now she has this new lifestyle, no work experience now. It's not easy for her to leave a guy. It's not easy for her to leave this lifestyle. She hasn't worked for 10 years. You know what I'm saying? So she can't just go get a job. She can't. It's like she really can't because she has no work experience.
No resume, no nothing.
She's like, all right, this guy occasionally smashes women from time to time. This shit hurts. But at the end of the day, I'm taken care of.
Yep.
My family is taken care of.
My kids
Whenever
have
this-
opportunity.
Opportunities. Whenever this nigga dies, because he's going to probably die before me,
Oh, because she's killing them.
possibly, I'm going to have bread too.
Or he killing himself.
But it's easier
Women kill
at the end of the day for some people, for some women, it's way easier to cope with when somebody does have money. That's a fact. That's just like this not
Preach.
being an asshole. Now, is it right? No, I'm not saying it's right.
Negative.
It's not saying it's right at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm a firm believer. Just like don't get in a relationship if you feel like you can't hold it.
See what we need.
I know
to
it
do.
happens, but if you going on there like I'm gonna fuck all these hoes even when I'm married, it's like nigga, why are you getting in a relationship? And you just like, yo, I understand I made a mistake. That's different. Both people can make mistakes. But if you just like, yo, we got married, yo, I'm about to fuck 7 tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? It's like, Jesus, you just got married.
How many nuts is that?
Why are you doing this?
Fuck. Fuck me.
You think he's counting? Like no.
No, 7. You know
No.
you know how much work that is on your penis?
At a certain point, I'm getting too lazy. I'm like, I'm not doing this shit.
Oh no. You're not hard.
It's not-
Well, you gotta work harder.
Well,
Okay, Huck, go ahead.
no, go ahead. I don't have nothing else to say.
I had nothing to say. I was gonna what you call it. Well, let's wrap it up here on What's the Hook podcast. Keenan, give people your social media where they can find you. And what's yeah.
Yeah, this nigga.
I just gave up mid.
Let's see how these outros go for the next two episodes.
Oh, right. Oh,
Let's see,
okay,
guys.
let's see.
Let's see.
I'm tapping out, baby.
My stuff is all Keenan Baker, KEENAN, on everything, Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff, YouTube. Yeah, hit me.
Huck, hit him.
Yo, you can catch me at Fresh Ass Me. That's fresh, and then instead of the S, it's a Z Me 1 on Instagram. On Xbox, you can catch an L on 2K.
This guy said Xbox.
Catch that L on 2K. Hilarious.
All of that. Yeah, and then on Twitter, I'm Hello Fellow, but you won't see a tweet from me. So yes, I'm just like to sit on there and watch people tweet. So yes, basically
That's it.
that's it.
Yeah, Bileko, what's yours?
And for mine, Bileko Wissa. On Instagram, it's AZIZA funny. So Aziza funny. And on you can also follow my second page with me and Keenan. We got a mini series called Feewee Helms. So it's Feewee FeeWeehelsMusic. Feewee Helms Music. And then on Facebook, Bileko Wissa.
He just needs to sing behind it.
BILEKOWISSA. And what else? I have Twitter, same thing. Thank you.
Yeah, and if you want to record your podcast or record a song
Here we go.
that is a good song, come to Space 2813. You can follow it at Space 2813, and you can find me there. DM, call me, whatever. Let's work.
And we out.
And we out. What's the hook?
Let's do it.